Hello and welcome to Diecast Restos at Christmas. Happy holidays to all of you out there watching this instalment. This is a Lesney Matchbox Superfast number 23E Volkswagen Camper. It was produced from 1970 and it was replaced in the range in 1975 by the Atlas dump truck. The castings all came with an orange plastic roof canopy that could be opened to reveal the interior. This model's orange colour was a later revision from its original sea green blue shade. This change had occurred by early 1973. Here's a mint orange example with the occasionally seen sailboat stickers. And here is a real Volkswagen Type 2 T2 camper. Pre-production versions of the 23E Superfast casting featured a fuel tank flap next to the sliding side door. However, this was deleted rather crudely around the time mass production began. It resulted in a very small handful of now rare and valuable castings entering the market. The modification had a rough raised edge where the mould was filled in, though the majority of blue campers are smooth in this area. At this time, production campers received orange seats, though again a small number did receive the pre-production white plastic interiors. The roof on mine where the canopy attaches had been bent, so I corrected this by beating it with a hammer. Once aligned, I can test fit my reproduction canopy. As ever, I'll leave a link to the part source in the description below. Here are all the original parts my model came with, and up next is the caustic soda paint strip. In the casting's final run of blue, it had a paper sticker of a sailing boat applied to the rear quarters of the model. It then changed to orange, but not before the interior piece was exchanged for white in place of orange. The orange castings could be found with or without the sailboat label. I've opted to not include the sticker on my restoration, simply because I could see no evidence of it ever having been applied. After the casting was discontinued in 1975, it re-entered production in 1976. It now had a solid roof instead of a canopy, and had a new registration number at the rear. On this casting, it read VMV252H. The H suffix indicates a registration date between August 1969 and July 1970, and the MV of the VMV represents a London-based registration. The change was to DGT833H, keeping the same registration year, with GT representing another London registration code. British registration numbers certainly do tell a story within themselves. The new casting lost its interior, clear windows and suspension, and now included a modified base that allowed the chunkier dot dash style wheels to be fitted. This model was painted olive green for the military twin packs, and had the Red Cross decals applied. In the early 80s, it was painted white and had pizza van tampos applied briefly for the US market. This isn't my first Type 2 restoration. In September, I restored a gorgeous Siku pickup version of the T2. I've also restored a Matchbox 34B Volkswagen Caravette just about a year ago, though that was a T1 split screen. Still, that casting isn't too dissimilar to this one. This one is just slightly modernised, what with its opening roof and working suspension. Being produced in 1969 for 1970, this model is based on an early bay T2A pre-facelift second generation Type 2. Again, I talk more about the differences between the variations in the Siku restoration if you are interested and haven't yet watched that video. Now though, it is time to reassemble my restoration. I must first fit the reproduction orange canopy, which is a near perfect match to the colour of the Tamiya TS12 orange. After the window piece comes the washed white plastic interior. Lastly, the polished metal base slots onto the body and clicks over the rear. Here then is how the 23E Volkswagen Camper looked originally. It had flaky orange paint, a dusty, dirty interior, a missing canopy, and a bent roof opening. All in all, it was pretty shabby and in dire need of recovering. I sourced a reproduction canopy to fit once I had sorted out the bent roofline, and I'll leave a link to that in the description. But here it is now. It's in a darker shade of orange, but as ever with Lesney, similar shade variations are not unknown. It has the fresh plastic opening canopy fitted over some polished plastic windows and cleaned interior. Also polished and revitalised is the metal base and bumpers. I washed the wheels in Citadel and restored the metal foil look with my monochrome pen. I hope that you have enjoyed this satisfying restoration of a Lesney classic. If you have, do leave a like and drop me a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and support the channel on Patreon if you can. Links are as ever at the end of the video. I'd again like to wish all of you, my viewers, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will see you soon for the next one. Bye for now.